I know Richard's on mute right now, but all I gotta say is if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's probably going to be the best 2 hours of television you've watched in the last 10 years.
Yes, indeed. I've got to say, I got to say this much about it: that if you love the Next Generation and you love Star Trek, this is definitely going to be your cup of tea. Just amazed on the quality.
Since you guys are all sitting, I'll say this: there is a member of this fleet that has not seen a single episode of Picard.
It's not me.
No, I know several people who haven't seen Picard. So
why? We need to bring these shut-ins into the fold.
That's right. We what it is some of them don't have
even the vampire
ability. Yeah, well, John, have you seen it?
Yeah, so it's 24 hours ago.
Okay.
I know on principle, a lot of people said that they won't watch the new Star Trek because you got to pay for the app. And
you know a lot of people.
To me, it's kind of the equivalent of me renting a movie back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
$7, I get at least at least every other week I have at least a Star Trek episode in the year. So,
and basically speaking, you can get your top 6 or 7 shows back from the last 37 years that you can watch on unlimited stream.
Yeah, Paramount, their movies are fantastic, and of course they've got all the Star Trek you want to watch. I mean, look at what's coming up here in about 2 weeks. The season premiere, not 2 weeks, about 3 weeks, season premiere of Star Trek Strange New World Season 2. Looks like a good one.
15th of June it's coming out.
About 2 weeks.
It's here in the United States, it's premiering on the 15th.
Yeah.
Of May.
Oh, my. June, is released June.
But
I mean, unless you also have like a VPN service.
Right.
So if you guys know somebody who gets it early, no spoilers. But
yeah. The VPN is very valuable. In fact, my VPN tonight is coming through Orlando. Just to have fun.
I will spoil one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you play Star Trek Online, Picard made it officially screen ran that the Enterprise F is canon as far as screen ran.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
But one problem with that is that in the narrative, the Enterprise F was being decommissioned. So,
well, it became well, we can't talk about that.
Yeah,
we can't. About that. Oh, we can talk. You just can't talk in front of these guys.
But
and those who,
so the F was the first fan designed ship.
That was a beauty. That was beauty.
And it was fan selected. So it'd been played for almost 10 years before Star Trek started going again, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's not canon." Surprise!
Well, actually, they canoned a bunch of stuff in Picard. Like, there's several other classes that got canoned also because they showed up in different scenes.
I think about canoners, that's what I call them.
Yeah.
Is they're not listening to Gene Roddenberry. He said canon in Star Trek is as far as your imagination can take you.
That's true.
He definitely
I'd like to think that
firm rules that some things did.
No, he said there are no real rules. This is meant to be not only improve the human species, but we got a lot of work to do, gentlemen. Roll up your sleeves.
I feel like that's very much one of those concepts of talk one thing and do another, because there's definitely been times when they have very hard-line rules about what influences what, and keeping what was written in books and what was on movies and TV
Yeah, and a lot of those,
very separate.
a lot
Yeah.
of those weren't locked by Gene though. They were locked by everybody else.
Well, arguments about who's doing what at which points in
For
the
me, the guy
chronological.
who created it has more say than anybody.
Yeah, but the thing is that does he recognize his Ford's contribution to the Klingon Empire? And that, because that was definitely during his time. It is not like a Peter David book or like one of the later books or the
Right.
stuff they're putting out now. So
He wanted everything to grow.
whichever. I mean, I don't want to get into a debate whether who's canon, who's not.
I won't
canon.
debate you, Richard. I'm right, and I'm cool with it.
Uh,
Oh boy.
That made him stutter.
that does sound like a senior NCO there.
So, of course, I love the fact that Jeff is in chat, putting the greetings and talking to us on screen too.
Yeah.
Right. What I did was I found out I can broadcast this show on my
Yes.
own thing. So I have put it on my own YouTube channel for everybody to see if they want to.
Yeah, with the
I got the button
tier
too.
that we got, I believe each guest can broadcast it to 2 different platforms.
2 platforms.
So it's really nice because I might not have access to a platform, and you share it with your
See, but this is a part of teamwork. This is what makes the team of Starfleet a family.
That's
your-
right.
it allows you to share it with your chapters. So you can put it on your chapter site and they can say it.
And look
and
who's on Facebook.
I was about to say, I just saw Steve like the show
Steven,
and he's
come
got
on in,
a
buddy.
comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can.
Wait. We're talking about Steve. He'll be working. You know that.
Oh yeah. I didn't know
You can at
that.
least type in and say howdy dowdy.
I think he tried.
Oh, so Facebook is being antisocial to Steven. Just hit it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's Facebook. They get knocked around a lot.
But let me see if I can get this.
So how's everybody's favorite Captain Miss Fiona doing, Steven?
And I actually saw a smile on her face in one of the pictures.
Yes, I know. She's turning into a very beautiful lady. You nervous yet?
There's a howdy.
Awesome. Tell her Tori sends a hug. She's probably taller than Tori now.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But
I remember her a couple of years ago. She was about
about the same size.
yeah. There is a smidge between the two of them.
But like I said, for the fact that we went through so long without any sci-fi really whatsoever for almost 10 years, outside of a couple of movies that popped up here and there.
Right.
Now the people that have it now have it so good that they don't understand waiting these 6 years between seasons.
Yeah, and the genre, though, what I love is the genre itself is growing.
Yeah.
And it's growing in a positive way. It's not growing thumbs down as far as I'm concerned.
The other
It's growing
thing
thumbs up.
is we're getting international sci-fi a lot easier.
Yeah.
So if you like Doctor Who. Now we're getting Doctor Who America. We're getting Doctor Who
Oh,
Britain.
I like Doctor Who Britain 60s and 70s.
Doctor Who Britain. Is that going to be like
The
American
original.
Office and
The
American-
original 60s and 70s. Back then, that Doctor Who was it.
So
It's just, I'm one of those people who I didn't get roped in, and now it's one of those things of where do I start? And they keep telling me wherever you like, and I'm like, I don't know that yet, twits.
well, they call it a series instead of a season. So you just find one of the seasons. So look up, say, I think it's the seventh Doctor
Well,
was
if you really want to pay it smart, all you have to
Amy
do is
Pond's
pick a
Doctor.
doctor.
I'm saying, I think the seventh series was Amy Pond. So if you like, what is the Marvel show with
Mhm.
the raccoon?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
If you like Gardens of the Galaxy, Karen Gillian was Amy Pond. So look up the shows that she was in and start there if you enjoy that, because truthfully it was an amazing series that they ran with that.
Mhm.
And
You could also go
better.
even further back. You can go further back since they're airing the old series or the classic series on Pluto TV, Roku TV, and a few other platforms, courtesy of BritBox. How I got interested in the Doctor was I was watching the Fourth Doctor.
Tom Baker.
That
Tom
was
Baker. And I mean, it was boring. Tom was boring. I'm sorry, but Tom was boring to me. Although he had some interesting stories, a lot, but it was a lot of dialogue. Then they went to a new Doctor, and that's when I got hooked. Peter Davis.
Jeff, you realize that was the most American complaint ever?
Yeah,
He was boring.
right. It was
No,
boring.
no, very specifically, there was too much dialogue.
Okay,
Oh.
Which and that's a part of every British show, it seems. I mean, Peter Davison did a series, something Creatures Great and Small,
Little
which was
creature.
a very good. Yeah, was a very good show. I watched it. However, the dialogue was extending it. It was like they sit in the kitchen and talk all day.
I don't know if anyone here is familiar with the show Are You Being Served, which is a British comedy that literally is in a department store. And I'm like, that is literally a show that is nothing but dialogue.
Yes.
There is barely anything to be anything else. There's almost
And the American equivalent to that show is called Clerks by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that, but I mean, there's definitely a whole.
Actually, it's
I mean, that was a good show. The most classic British show, in my book, is Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yes.
Although it was on for only a few years, classic comedy.
And you didn't think that had too much dialogue?
Mr. Bean.
And it had too much physical comedy.
There's your inverse there, Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
That's no
Mr.
dialogue.
Bean,
Everything
no
is
dialogue.
Yeah, everything was done with facial expression.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, you've never heard any of the old British radio soaps, have you, Jeff?
Mm-mm. I'm wanting to. I have the ability to watch Emmerdale, I guess, and there's one other soap on there, but I've never gotten a chance to watch them yet.
So
when I was really young, when my dad was in Europe for a little while, we would watch the soaps from England, which I thought was pretty cool. And then it turned out they had radio broadcasts as well of much older soaps. They were just rehashing. Because it's all the same. This one died, that one came back to life, and this one married that one's daughter. It's okay.
Which doctor had Captain Jack Harkness?
That would be. It started with Tennant. Doctor
Oh,
Tennant.
okay. That's the other one.
Although I do remember
Because
him
The
in an
spin-off of
episode.
Torchwood.
An episode of the Ninth Doctor. That's where he was introduced.
Yeah.
So,
But-
Well, they gave him his own series, didn't they?
Torchwood.
yeah,
Yeah.
Torchwood.
So that if you like Torchwood, you'll definitely like Tennant's Doctor.
I am
Oh,
familiar
yeah,
with
and-
that show called Torchwood.
Aren't they about to do a spinoff based on Unit? Just the Unit, not the Doctor, but several of the former characters will be a part of it. You know, companions.
We're all gonna look at John.
Yeah, John, we are looking at you.
Trying to think, they probably are. I'm bringing it back, but they probably will do. Because I think it's all gone to Disney, isn't it? Now it's going to Disney.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like I said, outside of Doctor Who, there was no sci-fi for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Well, depends on how you look at it, but yes.
Mhm.
There was a lot in print, a lot in comic, but there wasn't a whole lot of actually meaty, you can get involved in it sci-fi. It was all this, here's a quick drop, get over yourself, and they moved on.
Wasn't there 12 years of Stargate?
Yeah,
That was
starting
probably
in-
the only meal you had. It was barely a sandwich.
I'm just saying. I mean, there was 12 years of Stargate.
That's O'Neill with 2 L's. There's one with 1 L, but he doesn't have a sense of humor.
I was sold really well on the movie, and then the series was like, it didn't bite to me. But I have lots of friends who are big fans, so
97 to 2010.
that's pretty. It's pretty long.
Yeah,
And they're talking about bringing it back.
I hope.
Yes, they are talking about bringing
They
that
better.
back.
Dare I say this? The only reason why they're thinking of bringing it back is because they're not smart enough to come up with something new on their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Look
always-
at the movies. Everything's digging back all the way into the 40s, Jeff.
Yeah.
Stuff from before even you and I were kicking the dirt around.
You know what?
It's like,
I
it's
saw.
like, wait a minute, dudes. Are you
Yeah,
telling
but
me
they
you have a college
wait,
education
wait,
and no
wait,
brain?
Wait 1 minute there, Drew. I'm sorry. In the Roman Empire, they didn't have movies.
Yes, they did.
He was there.
I was there. The aliens brought them down
Oh, all right.
from their mothership. I personally
Yes,
sat in the same box as Apollo. I watched with him.
I unfortunately got a haircut recently.
You
Well,
know, Thor
I,
had to use his lightning.
I'm
or,
getting-
Odin used his lightning.
Well, you knew
Oh, well,
Methuselah, I guess.
Plugged his
Drew.
Titan into it.
Drew, did you know my friend Methuselah?
Yeah, he still owes me $10 from high school. I'm going to get him. I think Abraham finally slipped the gifts. I ain't going to be able to catch him, but I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, we're at that point where they say we personally knew Abraham Lincoln or George Washington, and I'm going, okay. I would like to know them.
I went shopping today.
Pick their mind. Oh,
I went shopping today and some girl about 22, 23. She said, "Excuse me, young man."
I've had that happen.
And I turned around and looked at her and I said, "You could say that again."
holding a dog and having a white cane.
No. And I said, "What makes you say that?" She says, "Every time I see you, you act more energetic than most of the 22-year-olds that come in here." She works at the store I went into.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He's visiting
Oh,
my
well.
job while I'm not there.
No, actually, I went to public.
Oh,
Well,
I was wondering where you've got somebody from about 22 and 23 in my store. There are not many of them. They're all at night.
Yeah, I know.
They all got fired yesterday for attendance.
Well then.
Yeah, for some reason it's I'm entitled to everything.
No, the kids I work with work hard. They just don't show up on time.
We were raised that, you're entitled to two things: butt kicking and getting your own funeral paid for. Go.
So, one of the things we do want to talk about with the show is upcoming cons. Remind people to submit to the news network their photographs and stuff of going to cons. One of the things that we do is we're helping out with some of the local cities have employed the Sci-Fi Bartow crew to put on local cons in the different cities to help raise funds for local renovations. And basically, we volunteer with that. And for the first time, city that I know is all about fossils, because when I was in school, we took a trip out to the phosphate mines and dug fossils in the pits. So they're putting on a prehistoric con in Mulberry, which is about 20 minutes from where Bartow Con is set up. And we're going to be going there to help point people in the right direction. So let's get this up. So it's dinosaurs and steampunk.
Yep.
And they're going to be having a
Dinosaur race.
Best Indiana Jones contest, lookalike contests, I believe.
Yep.
So we're going to volunteer for a few hours out there and help them out.
Should I do my indie?
Have fun if you want to sweat your balls off.
Yeah.
It's already 90 degrees outside. So that's one thing we're doing this weekend. Or this week. And then next week, we're going to be going to, has anybody heard of Neutral Zone Studios?
Well, technically I have, but because of
Let's
the
go.
fact
Has anyone heard Star Trek?
we've talked about it previously on the show.
So
They just got another chunk of the studio building for themselves.
so they asked for some volunteers to help clear out these
You
areas.
can't make that bigger.
Not really. That's what I was trying to figure out. They don't get bigger. Let me try. Yeah, it doesn't get bigger, unfortunately. Let me see if I can download.
Right down on it or saving
It might work. It might not.
put it on the desktop. Easier to find it.
It's a small picture.
Yeah, you're going.
That's as big as it gets. Oh wait, it looks like shit.
Not like a little blurry is okay. They'll get the idea. They're in a warehouse, and
Basically what soundstage is.
they finally got the other half of the warehouse, but now they need the demo work done. So tomorrow and Sunday we are going to be swinging hammers.
Not next week.
Next week, Saturday and Sunday.
yeah. So if you can help them, contact them.
If you're in
I'm sure they
Georgia.
can appreciate. Yeah.
If you're there at Kingsland, Georgia, come and see us. We promise. We
Yeah,
will not
and
be
duck from the swinging hammers.
You guys should take pictures of
Yeah, I hope they
swing
do.
hammers. You know,
Oh,
like,
we will.
see
We'll
who can
take
be
some
more
pictures of
like.
everything.
What they adding to the sets, or are they going to just move them?
I believe that they're going to be adding a Klingon bridge.
I think Ray's
That would
going
be
for a Klingon / Romulan bridge that's interchangeable, and a small outdoor, so that he can do green screen all the way around.
So it's going to be adding sets to use for all the fan films. So
And I think he's finally going to get himself some office space, not that rolling cart that goes. He's got a rolling cart that he hides over in the corner. That's his office.
I'm wondering if anybody, and I'm saying this off the cuff, has done a full-sized bridge of the movie era yet, somewhere in the United States.
Not that I'm aware of.
Because they're going to be doing that Farragut one, and it's set on a movie set type, but it's a Miranda class.
All right, how about you and I get together and start a GoFundMe? We'll build one.
Yeah, we need to do that. Just
You and I can remember the whole transition. But which
that was
movie?
an awesome set. That was an awesome set too. So,
But which movie?
all of the movies,
The
even
first
the
movies,
most
or do you want to jump straight to the E?
Well, we're
I
talking
like
about
the
the A, and before that. I'm talking about that. I'd like to have an E set.
I think that there is somebody that is working now on an A class, and he's actually geographically anyway. He's within region. No, he's in your neck of the woods.
Oh, in Region 12. Okay. Wonder who this is. Got to
I
get a
don't
hold
know.
of him.
He's not an SFI, but I've talked to him a couple of times. I'll reach out to him and
Yeah.
see if he wants to add you.
Mhm.
But he's not doing a Miranda. He's doing A specifically, but he's making walls that are basically plug and play. So he can undo it from this portion, move it over like they did. Each piece can be moved.
Yeah. Sort of like what the Aries has done. The Aries crew have each screen is independently monitored. In other words, they got their own little computer set that's about yay big.
Yeah.
And that's one set I'd like to see as well. Although people are blaming Alec for a lot of things, and it may have been, I just don't know how to react to that. So, but I'm hoping that he gets his movie out, or his two 15-minute programs out pretty soon.
Right.
I want to know where they rebuilt that D set.
Oh yeah.
I think it was in 7. I think it was in Soundstage 7 on the Paramount.
Okay.
Let's hope they don't just chuck it away this time.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Give it to a
Yeah.
freaking museum.
I think.
Well, the local LA museum has a set that they rebuilt from scratch, right?
Mhm.
Maybe they
Well, yeah.
That is possible.
Sorry,
I
Jeff.
believe the guy who's the head of that Star Trek group up at Ticonderoga, New York, helped out with the building of that set for D, is what I heard. I forgot what's his name, but the Elvis impersonator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he helped in building the D's one. Got to give him credit if he gets credit. If he has help.
All I know is when they stepped foot on that bridge, I was like, "Oh, that's too perfect."
Mhm.
It's not the old Enterprise D, the one from the movie, because there were extra consoles up the front that they didn't have in this particular set.
It's
So-
slightly different.
Yes, looks more like the original. So,
It's more-
and wasn't that carpet great?
Well, I did miss the carpet.
I kind of wish
Yeah.
that I was an apartment.
The black or dark heavy flooring. I thought, yeah, no, that looks more like a lab counter.
Whoa.
Mark,
The,
Hello, Mark.
Good evening, gentlemen.
now, I am going to give one.
who else did you bring in?
And,
You
Oh,
just a gentleman. I know you ain't talking to any of us.
one spoiler I'll give you
Speak for yourself, Drew.
that when I saw the D, I expected them to blow
Uh-huh.
up the D. And they didn't blow it
Four
up.
people posted that D is going to be destroyed.
I was like,
Yeah, I expected that. I expected it to be the
um,
one thing that's going bye. But
oh,
now we're talking about things we shouldn't be talking about, guys.
hey, it survived to go back in the museum. That's all I care about.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But so anybody watched the SpaceX launches the last couple days?
Oh yeah,
They recreated the Challenger explosion.
yes.
There was
yeah,
Bears though.
But it wasn't in Florida this time. It was in Texas.
oh
He
man.
was shooting at it with a shotgun.
I just saw it and I'm like, didn't they say it was supposed to separate by now?
Yeah,
It's an alien, Mark.
Um,
It's an alien. Oh,
And then the one guy announces,
Yeah.
we said it was going to be a spectacular event. I'm like,
And it was.
it exploded. That's not spectacular. We can do that all the time.
that's called failure.
Although at least
Oh,
we
of course.
had this time.
Yeah. Uh-huh. According to Elon, it was a successful failure. So they learned a lot. They like they did on the first 5 explosions they had in the landing of Starship 10
Well,
and 9 and 8.
I guess this booster was more powerful than the Saturn V launch system.
Mhm.
So it got off. It looked like it got off the pad slower, though.
Well,
I remember
they
the
were
Saturn
more.
V going a lot quicker.
Yeah. I think I were more concerned about the launch pad too. They said we were wondering if there's going to be a launch pad there once it's cleared the tower.
Well,
And,
Warner von Braun
we don't
said that
know.
they were successes when it blew up.
Well,
Well,
I noticed that the flames looked like they were coming out of the white stage, not out of the booster. So when it launched, I went, I don't remember them using the upper launch system to launch it. And then I went, oh, that's how high the flames were. Yeah, that wasn't a good.
That was a good sign for it. And then when it didn't separate, I'm wondering what happened to the ignition on the other part of Starship. That's probably what brought it down.
I'm thinking that because the explosion, the bolts that are supposed to explode to pop it off, didn't pop it off. As soon as the second stage rockets launched, that's what caused the blow up.
Because
Yep. Hey, there it is, tumbling, going. Yeah.
well,
They said it
you know
was
that was
they did this.
But then there's somebody on the ground
Yeah.
who's paid to go, it's going that way.
I
As long as
started
it's
getting
not coming
sick
back
watching
this
it.
way or that way, we're okay.
All I can say is nobody died. That's important.
Yes.
Where did
Yes.
Texas
And they're going to have to
Roll
do it
water?
again.
Did you see around
Well,
the launch pad?
It's not like NASA never had a failure in their beginning. Obviously,
No,
That's
I'm not,
true.
I'm
There's
not-
no
I'm not saying they didn't.
what could possibly go wrong.
Gemini death,
the words everything come to mind.
the Apollo deaths.
The three
3 shuttles.
shuttles.
Well, I can predate all of that for you.
Yeah,
Anybody remember the N1? It made a good
No.
piece of Kazakhstan disappear.
At least we didn't kill all of.
Oh,
our
you mean that
scientists
one that
by
was just as
testing
big
the
as
That was the
Starship?
Russian moon rocket.
Mhm.
First Russian moon.
Yeah, you don't work your
Yeah,
guys
I-
for 72 hours straight trying to put a monster rocket together. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, their big problem was they put the viewing area 100 feet away from the rocket.
Well, look at that V1. What was it? It was the V3.
Two? There's V2s.
No, the V3A actually was in testing. One
Oh,
of them brought. It was almost. It
Mhm.
was 3/4 the size of a Saturn, and that baby
Could
made
be New
it
York.
6 inches off the launch pad, and
Boom.
then went everywhere.
that's right. That is right.
Of
It
course,
disassembled
I
itself
remember
like
about that,
instantaneously.
we had the
Well-
Apollo capsule explosion where the oxygen was flowing and somebody pulled a piece of Velcro and it caused a spark and blew up the capsule.
It's something like that.
Well, they
some kind
resigned.
of
They
spark happened.
they redesigned the hatch system after that, so they never had another problem like that. That was the main
And-
thing. They couldn't get them out.
Well, they
And
found
who's
the astronaut going,
responsible for having the redesign done? Do you remember the name of the astronaut who was responsible for having the hatches on Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo redesigned initially? Gus Grissom, because he blew out the
I know
hatch
it's one
when
thing.
he landed.
Yep.
And it was,
Well, they-
nothing. I don't believe Gus was at fault. Never did.
No, he
And,
wasn't.
I think when they brought back the Liberty Bell and looked it over pretty good, they could see that it wasn't his fault. He
They
took
found
a
his
lot-
survival knife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
he
found
used that as.
all the-
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mark.
sorry, didn't mean to. I know
No,
when they
I-
brought the Liberty Bell up, after they cleared out the debris from inside of it, they found Gus said he'd used his survival knife as a lever to get him out of there, and he was swimming in was like $1 million spacesuit that was filling up with water, so it was like carrying 2 guys. It's a miracle he didn't drown.
Yeah, he got lucky there, but
Yeah.
about was it 6-7 years later, he burned up with his fellow astronauts, and
Yeah,
that's a hard lesson to learn. That is a hard
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah, but
I
you
mean,
know,
even with Challenger when it blew up, when
they
Yeah.
learned it the first
Columbia
time.
Columbia came down like they did, they were hard lessons.
That was lack of learning when Gus passed away in that rocket because they could have
Mhm.
changed
Yeah.
it then. They had the research, they had the data, they knew those doors were faulty.
well, Columbia was literally, oh, something's messed up. Oh, let's launch anyways.
No,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
They shouldn't have launched. They should have.
The
They
couplers
should have
were
just.
not, were
No, you're thinking of Challenger.
no.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Challenger too.
No.
But
Challenger-
Columbia
Because
should have
that's
been
the
deported.
O-rings.
Mhm.
It was
No.
cold launch and the O-rings. That's
the mount,
Challenger.
the mount,
Yeah.
The mounting brackets were
on
actually
Challenger
loose
were vibrating.
on the Columbia.
Yeah,
And
but
it
they
caused the
should
rocket
have aborted that
Separate
one.
early and blow up.
She was
Yeah.
delayed. She was delayed to fix a problem, which they did in the regular NASA way. Throw some duct tape on it and let it go.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wasn't Columbia destroyed on return?
Yes.
yes,
Wait a minute,
It
which
burned
one
up
was the
over
one
Texas.
between Challenger and Columbia?
Yeah. So
yes,
Wait a minute.
so
There was
wasn't
one
Columbia
between-
damaged during launch?
No, when she
Yes.
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 but when she
They,
went,
that's why I said they should have aborted the mission.
she put damage on her
They didn't know.
the heat plates
on the forward of one of the wings.
But
Yeah.
they were where those external rocket boosters were vibrating. They actually did. I actually was reading a report not too long ago from NASA about that. From the
Oh yeah.
engineers.
Okay. Yeah. Because it was shaking, it damaged the underside heat panels. That's why the next launch of the shuttle, they actually had a spacewalk where they actually inspected every square inch of the underside of the shuttle to make sure that there was heat panels still.
And then they still did a double flyover of the observation window of
The space station.
the station, so that they could observe and photograph it for NASA.
Yeah.
Definitely try.
Those very simple mistakes that they refused to use basic common sense and preserve life.
hmm
And I was at for one of Columbia's launches, Discovery and Endeavor. I went to 2 or 3 of Endeavor's launches at the space station, one of Discovery and one of Columbia.
Incoming message.
The only people in my family have seen a launch is my parents, because they were in Florida for a launch at one point.
I gotta say, being a person that loved science, it was great that you could physically write into NASA and go, "Hey, I want to see a launch," and they would send you a ticket that you would just drive up to the causeway and park, and they had all the whole sound system, everything, and it was a pretty clear view. Now, you couldn't see the launch platform from where that was, but within half a second of them
What do you care?
hitting 30, you were like, "Oh, there it is."
I would have liked to have gone down there to watch one of those. But now they're launching SpaceX not only from the Florida launch site. There are 2 other launch sites. I'm not talking about Starship, by the way. They're launching SpaceX Starlink from White Air Force Base, which is in California, and there is another missile range in Virginia that they have launched satellites up from. So there are a couple of spaceports that I personally didn't even know we had, other than the White Air Force Base one.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I
put
think
my
the
hands in the air and be Canadian and go.
The reason why they could open up the Virginia one was because of the fact that the booster returns.
Right, that's exactly right.
If it didn't land, they couldn't have done it in that area because there was no recovery areas really close to it. But with it being able to return somewhat autonomously, it makes safety a little bit better. That's why Texas and Florida were so choice for launches, because we're both areas. They basically went, "Hey, look, water," and shot it over the water. Where Virginia, even though there's water on one side, there's a lot of everything around Virginia.
Yeah, and the same can be said about the California launch site, where they actually, yeah, because they go the opposite way.
I've read the
Yeah.
main reason is for any possible manned flights from there. They're both in both cases. They're by air. They're less than 18 minutes from a hospital.
Where in California?
In California and in Virginia.
Oh,
Hmm.
If they do anything manned and something happens, they can get them out quickly and get them to medical assistance.
Mhm.
Well, at least they learned. Nice to have a doc around every now and then.
well, that side of Florida does have
Air
like
Force efficiency.
1,000 hospitals.
The full Space Coast section that belongs to the military has 4 hospitals. I know this,
Yeah.
but that's why they picked Canaveral, because they already had two military hospitals.
Plus, they normally have
Right.
with the big launches, manned launches, they have a aircraft carrier wing somewhere out there.
Unlike
Right.
kids, Jeff, Mark, and I can remember when they used to talk about the Kennedy Space Center hospitals.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
remember what they called Cape Canaveral back then. They called it Cape Kennedy for the longest time.
Well, they changed the name after he was assassinated, and then they took it
Reverted back.
for some reason.
Yeah. Now it's
Oh.
called what is that new military branch that doesn't really do anything?
Oh, Space Force.
Yeah, Space Force.
It's
Yeah.
Space Force Commands.
Well, at least they have a place to stand and go, nice putt.
They got purdy uniforms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet.
I'll be perfect. If you say golf and stuff, I don't think of Space Force. I think of the Navy. But I'm a big down Periscope fan, so then maybe that's why.
Yeah.
They do golf off of the aircraft carriers, but they don't retrieve the balls very easily. However,
Like never.
the Space Force has there's two like international.
There's 2 Air Force, literally Air Force golf courses there, and then there's 5 internationals around there that are used all the time.
Right. Florida has some of the top professional golf courses in the world.
The 101st Air Force Base at Fort Campbell is the most interesting military base I've ever seen in my life. It's the only one that's set up for multiple branches, including the Air Force. And the Air Force section is overlooking a golf course.
SOCOM is 20 minutes from where the most expensive putt ever happened.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods' wife making $600 million with one putt against a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I have stayed at that resort once. But pretty place. But yeah, I still don't know what Space Force does.
Well,
That's
I don't
okay.
think,
Space Force is still
Sean-
trying to figure it out.
Sean, I don't think anybody does.
Well, think about it.
including Space Force.
Air Force was doing.
Yeah.
Air Force was doing most of the NASA stuff before Space Force, and the Navy and the Marine pilots were included in that. And then all of our intercept missiles are done by the Army.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
I don't.
it was created by Trump. You were expecting logic?
When he introduced that, I said, "Isn't that what the Air Force does?"
I'll be perfectly honest. They probably sat there and filled it full of people from those commands, anyways, and just transferred them into the new force.
Yeah, especially the Air Force.
Well, here's what
A lot of them
killed me.
came
I
from
have
Air
to
Force.
laugh. About
Now the
7
Coast
years
Guard
ago-
has someone to punch at.
About six or 7 years ago, Tori wanted to, for her birthday, she wanted to go to NASA and see a launch. Well, while we were en route, they canceled the launch. But when we showed up, here's all these Marines in woodland camo standing security. And Tori, of course, is, "Oh, are they in the Air Force?" And I said, "No, dear, that's the Marines." She said, "What?" And we're behind the men. And one of them turns around. He says, "How can you tell we're not in the Air Force when you're not looking at us?" And I said, "First Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. How you doing?"
There is a question asked.
I just
Does
get
the
so
Space Force do combat? And somebody on Wikipedia put up U.S. Space Force first began conducting combat support operations in Vietnam War. Dumbass. That was the Army Air Corps, the Air Force.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It was the United States Air Force.
I'll be
At the beginning,
perfectly
it was
honest. My answer to that would be
the only reason
I
why
can
know
tell-
that Colonel Brown's father was in it.
to the Marine thing would be I can tell the Cat Pat ripoff when I see it, and then I'd be immediately leathered, but it'd be worth it.
Oh, the Space Force has been doing all these combat scenarios out in space for the last 25 years. Haven't you read the Inquiry?
Oh, I know what they're doing. They're playing Space Invaders. You know that game that we played on Atari?
Right. Are you sure they're not playing Gallica?
That could be.
Uh,
That's for large scale.
That's sorry, that was the MCU gag.
they might be practicing Ender's Game.
I want to.
As
One. I
long
got
as
a big
they're not
question.
playing End Space. That's all I'm saying.
My
Build
question
your
is, what are they doing with all the X-37s that have been built?
They're going to let
The mini
Space
shuttles.
Force fly.
Yeah, but what are they doing with them?
They're going to put them in the mothership.
Oh, okay. So they stole the space taxis away from the ISS.
You heard
They're finally getting rid of the Russian ships because
the Dark
those
Star
things are they're falling apart.
from Top Gun. The plane at the
I mean,
beginning.
let's face it. I'm sure the Air Force was cheering when the
Your
Space
daughter
Force was
preferred
created
that
because then they weren't going to be the punching bag of the Army, the
No,
Marines, and the Navy.
It's the size of the
Yeah.
real one. So lately they've been talking about the Dark Star from Top Gun, that plane that was at the beginning.
From Top Gun Maverick.
That model is sitting at Skunk Works.
It is life size.
You can go climb on it if you work at Skunk Works. Can't take any pictures, but you can go climb on it, play with it, stuff like that. It's not a real plane. They built a model of this plane for the movie, and it just sits in Skunk Works. But lately, a lot of the aircraft people have been talking about, oh, yeah, this is the new supersonic plane.
Misdirection.
Oh well.
That new Navy drone plane is probably going to be the next supersonic plane. The one that's going to be controlled by the F-35s. That looks like I don't want to be in it. It's going to make you sick.
That's why there's
Yeah.
no one in it.
Those are the AI wingmen,
Right.
and
they haven't said how fast
I wouldn't want to
they
be
are.
targeted by one. They won't miss.
Well, Lockheed Martin is currently working on the replacement for the SR-7.
What do you mean they're targeting Afghan weddings? Remember? Yeah, drone. They had a drone strike on something, and it turned out to be an Afghan wedding. One year.
So,
That's where the
China
joke
Russia-
comes from.
Counting their new supersonic rockets.
Yeah, I have an after show.
We
joke.
we said through those, we've got knives that we can throw at you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're called Ginsu made in Japan.
And they work real well. We take out
Um,
balloons with them.
I'm sure nobody here, Sean. I'm sure nobody here saw the finale of Picard.
And we're not
They
talking
did
about
We're not allowed to talk about it.
We're not allowed to talk about it. Okay, it hasn't gone out, and I
it. Yeah,
won't
we
say
got a
anything.
couple people that haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, we don't.
This
Oh,
guy
we
over
don't-
here.
I know.
Let's
I
just
got-
say.
Let's just say it's fun.
My
Yeah,
Paramount
was
finally
4
figured
days
it out.
Are you just four
Yeah.
episodes behind, Richard?
No, I'm the whole season behind, actually.
Oops.
It's only 10 hours, 2 days.
Yeah,
Done.
I know it's only 10.
I can see
I
what
love
he's
how
doing
people
after
say
the
that,
show.
right?
I know what you're doing this weekend.
Streaming.
I got a ton of shit to do this weekend.
If you can.
But I appreciate the transition, Drew, because I get to go to Expo next week. And we're going to be in the parade there, the Parade of Wonders. And
Uh-huh.
I think we've got I think there are 12 of us that are going to be in uniform for the parade. So
Isn't that where you?
Now, where is Expo at? Where are they
well,
stationed?
Calgary
Is it
Expo is
the
in
one
Calgary.
from last year?
Calgary.
Fan Expo is the overarching group, right? So they've got fan expos all over the place.
Yep.
Isn't that from
Pretty
Fan
much.
Expo?
That is the best picture of this was at Calgary 19.
Mhm.
Oh,
2019.
my.
I remember
Gregory
that
Just
Jackson.
from
on
last
Friday because he had been white hatted.
Oh, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, it's hard to recognize.
Now I
without the
do.
uniform.
Now I know. Now I see him. Yeah.
And that's our RC there, Derek France, and his.
So this is
I think
the
he was
activity
Drifter
you're
Brigader in that picture. But, yeah, that's one of our better kois. So of Star Trek alumni that we've got for Expo, we've got the guy who played Captain Shaw. Is that the right name? Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we also have Jonathan Franks coming, who is Commander / Captain Riker. So that's that. So hopefully we're going to get a group photo with that at some point. Where we'll get most of the chapter into a photo.
I don't want an autograph from him. I just want to sit and talk to him.
Yeah, that's a thing you need. You need people for that.
Schedule it for the 1st or 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Just saying.
We have 6,000 Star Trek fans who want to talk to the director.
That's fair.
Wonderful director.
Yeah, and obviously we have some. We also have some other
Wait a minute.
like voice
I got one
stars.
question. Would it help encourage you to do this if we had a signed petition?
I guess
Maybe they need some extras.
You paying for the flight?
it's too bad. It's too bad. Too bad
I
they
mean,
shoot.
you can all stay in Richard's room. That's no problem. But getting to Calgary is not going to be easy.
No kidding. Yeah.
It's easier than some places.
Yeah, but we can't. Mark and I can't just go. Hey, can you have us a hop ready for there in the next 48 hours? They don't listen to us anymore.
I'll be
Yeah.
perfectly honest.
Sean, haven't they
That
fixed
is
those
the way
transporter
you
coils
guys do
yet?
Business with airlines.
Yeah.
Like you have a hub system. That is your problem. Everybody else shoots direct. You're the people who say no. You have to stop. From Florida to Denver, and then Denver on to
Have to call them, I guess.
somewhere, or or like Chicago then to Calgary, or whatever it would end up being. Right? They're the ones sitting there telling you you have to make at least 2 stops. Unless you're in Houston, because we have directs to Houston for reasons that are obvious, because we're both oil places. So there's enough business definitely to do it. But I did the international thing, and like the amount of international flights that can just fly direct to Calgary is actually quite convenient.
Yeah, but my problem would be a passport getting there. So
Well-
you could go there from the United States with nothing. Now you need a passport for it.
Well, okay, Jeff, first, that is your government's fault because we only
Agreed.
required it after you guys said we had to have them.
I agree. You know.
Just to be clear.
Oh, you love
And get a
Brandis?
passport.
Hey,
Jeff.
who is that? Who is that? I'm wondering. Is that somebody we know? Of course, we know
Probably
who
somebody,
it is,
you know?
but we don't.
We just don't know who they are.
That's right.
Yeah, so I mean, and so that's something we're all looking forward to. Obviously we have
Crystal R.
Oh, Crystal, would you like to come on and talk?
and of course we have
Somebody
Peter
from the
Cullen.
USS Russell. Okay, there you goes.
So we're also having at the expo, we're having Peter Cullen, who's obviously the voice of Optimus Prime, among others,
Mm-hmm.
and Alan Oppenheimer, I think that's how you say it, who was Skeletor in He-Man.
Yeah, he's a veteran actor. He's done a lot of roles.
Well, I mean, a lot of voice actors have,
Mhm.
you know, IMBs that are a mile long,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
especially those that like started in the 70s and 80s and have done huge amounts of work. But even people like Tara Strong and, you know, some of those other people who are relatively speaking, relatively new, or when you start comparing them to people who were like in 80s cartoons, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
It's You were mentioning Fan Expo.
Yeah.
I survived all 4 days of MegaCon down here. They had over 150,000 people, and the building wasn't big enough. They're going to the original convention center after this. It was
Well, from what I understand,
good.
it was only
It was-
half the convention center, and the catwalk was closed because there was
Yeah.
a second con going on at the same time.
Yeah, they didn't want the mixing. That's some kind of weird thing the county does. I don't know why. But they had quite a turnout, and it was pretty amazing.
Well, they shut down. Calgary had a famous incident when we had all of the TNG crew here, where they shut down entrance for a period of time because the fire code got violated.
Oh, no. The convention
Then,
center-
ironically, they sent 25 firemen into the building to check on it.
I had a couple of my D&D buddies.
Most of which stayed for a couple hours.
Oh, I can't imagine why. Oh, we have to recheck these systems in here, right?
There may have been some firefighters and cosplayers posing for pictures together.
Could be.
There was a couple of my D&D friends went, and they said that all the people you wanted to see was on the very farthest side of the con, and all of the panels was on the opposite side. And if they had had the catwalk, it would have been fine. Trying to get from one side to the other took an hour.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how
you're gonna do that.
And
I need.
it's just you don't need to run two cons in that small area at the same time. That kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
I have to admit that it'll be interesting to see how Calgary is this year. You know, they're doing some reconstruction of part of the building, so it'll be interesting to see. It should make photos once it's done. It should make photos outside look really good because they're going with a very modern sort of esque kind of thing that sort of looks a lot like some of the exterior Star Trek stuff we've seen on Earth at various locations. Not so much the Academy, but some of the other locations that we've occasionally seen. So that'll be good, and that'll look nice. But it'll be interesting to see how we balance it out, because we often put there's a separate building on it called the Big Four building, which is almost its own convention center by itself. But they usually put the artists and the comic people in there, ringing the area with the guests, and then putting the artist alley in between. So, and I know 3 guests, like personally.
Be right back, guys.
Right.
So there are two artists that I know that are being guests, and a writer. Although the writer's probably more well known for being the WestJet funny steward that on that video that went viral a few years ago. Funny steward that on that video. It's not me, echoing.
I think I fixed it.
Okay, cool, awesome. But yeah, so so that's an interesting quandary and thing. So we're looking at that and some of that. Obviously, we're going to try and sneak a Tribble in the 501 area. That's something we do every year. And then we'll be looking for Volcon, where we will get be in Vulcan, Alberta, the Star Trek capital of Canada, and I'm sure we'll be doing some wonderful stuff there. And there's definitely some guests there. I really should put names to things, but I can't be arsed to get that up. But anyways, that's what we're doing. So we're looking forward to all of that and the sort of chaos that it endues.
Yeah.
It's an interesting uniform that Mark's playing with. Yeah, he doesn't know he's muted.
I'm trying to send someone a message about us.
And I'm hoping to have my dress uniform for the con, though I'm not sure. I'm going a final fitting on Monday, so we'll see how well.
Well, I'll try. I don't know if it shows up very well. I don't know if you guys can see that. I kind of have a connection with you guys. I do hold a commission in SMI as a brigadier. It was for helping them out a long time ago when they had a real problem.
Oh.
So, yep, you've got the Marines watching your back.
We have our own Marines.
I don't watch
There you
anybody.
go.
They watch mine because I'm the one that throws myself out in the middle of everything.
It's true, Drew. You do.
But
Bartow, this one tried to get me to sit down like 30 times. I was only trying not to have a heart attack.
you lie. I wasn't around you.
You.
That was
Well,
Hey,
Yeah.
Drew. Who do we have for BartowCon coming up in the fall?
oh, Robin Curtis.
Yeah. Yeah, we were lucky enough to get her. That's great. Super nice lady.
Yep. This will be the 4th time I've seen her.
Well, that is cool.
Just saw her once before, and I guess as a Trek fan, that doesn't count. That was a while back.
We're trying to get another person for it.
Yes, I know. Trying to get him to pay attention and talk to Christy, talk to Tracy. She wants in.
Well, that'll be fun.
Tomorrow will be the make or break.
Well, good luck.
Yep, we may have
Yes.
to get 50 cents apiece from everybody in Starfleet.
That's fair.
What?
I meant to find that. Oh well.
I'll send mine with Mike.
Yeah, that's the
Mike having some issues with life. We're not sure how that's going to go. He's not making it.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Kind of figured.
Well, he's now got a 7.5-inch hole in the side of his house.
That'll take more than one clapboard to fill.
Pipes started leaking. Then when he went to see what it was, it broke. So, like, oh shit.
Well, I thought the plumbing issue was bad.
And this is actually in the wall. So,
Yeah. Mine's in the wall too. You know, it's in the 60s. It was in the wall, in the concrete, under the ground.
yeah, his,
But
what are you saying, Tracy? Hell, of course I like it.
so, anybody else have, or John, what's going on over in England?
We've got one convention coming up in next week. It's in Battersea Park. So an open air one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Let's hope we don't rain in April. Then we've got the biggest one going in August. Destination Trek. Prices start off from weekend tickets to £85, which is about just under $70, and dearest packet, which is the Admiral's packet, $2,500.
Jeez.
Oh wow.
That's really cool. VIP, everything included. You get bags and front
Oh yeah.
seats.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean every con does multiple levels. Even Volcon does multiple level things.
Mhm.
So, did you get to meet David, John?
No, he's coming over on May. He's flying over to Ireland, not New York, Scotland on May the 4th.
Ah,
It's a good day to fly. Then he's flying down. Then he's flying over to Ireland on the Saturday. And then flying back to Ireland, back to England on May 7th.
so he is coming over to see y'all then.
Yeah, he's doing.
I know he's in your region, so.
Yeah, it's doing. Yeah. And we meet him at a pub in the O2, where he's going just for a meal. It's called Stargazer.
You know he's American, so don't give him too much alcohol.
And that's the Irish for you. It's the Irish.
Yeah, but too much alcohol to an American is just a regular pint.
Well, they start when they're like, "Oh, you can hold a shot glass. Here you go. Here's a cup."
Well, I need to win
They're
the
still
lottery.
in nappies when they are drinking.
I need to win the lottery. That way I can. I got
Oh,
still alive over there, and I want to see him before
I remember my
the
youth
stock goes up.
when I poured like red Solo cups and put hard alcohol in them. I can't drink like that anymore.
I remember in my youth drinking Mad Dog 2020 and rum and Dr. Pepper.
I remember Boone Farm strawberry.
And you survived.
Isn't Mad Dog 2020 like cheap wine?
No, cheap liquor.
No.
It's like beer plus.
You could clean aluminum with that stuff.
Mad Dog 2020 is unpurified new wine. If you've ever had new wine at an Egyptian at a Israeli wedding, you know that stuff makes rum and moonshine look like a beginner's drink.
Oh, I've drunk my fair share of moonshine.
They just left the bitter, disgusting gag on it in it. They just said, "Here it is. It's in a bottle. Go for it."
And what was that clear beer that they had for a while? What was that shit? Lima.
Oh, fuck. Holy.
It was like 13% alcohol, and it was basically water and alcohol.
Can I bring up something political and crazy at the same time?
Well, you're American, so do you have a choice?
I'm asking the panel. It's about Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Everybody's screaming, "Yo, because of the face you have on the can, we're not going to drink it no more." Instead, we're going to buy 30 or 40 cases. We're going to lay them out in this parking lot. We're going to drive over them with the tractor.
They don't care. It's great for marketing.
They do not care how they get your money. All they care is you buy it. So last year you were drinking what? 6-pack a week, maybe. Now you're doing what? Taking out 5 years worth and driving over it with a tractor. They don't care if it goes on blacktop or your top. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, at least you're not losing anything.
Well, the funniest thing is these rednecks are so stupid, and I'm a redneck. I was born and bred in Polk County. They take the Bud Light out and go, "Oh, this is bad. Throw it away." And they replace it with Coors Light, which in their company policy since 1978, they have been a supporter of gay and lesbian rights since 1978, while driving a Ford truck, which had their support for gay and lesbian, including the Rainbow Raptor, the special edition that was published everywhere. It's like, are you giving away your truck next? Because if you don't want to support gay and lesbian rights, I'll take your truck, man.
Well, that was like the thing too, where like somebody sat there and revealed Jack Daniels had done it, and it was like,
Oh yeah,
I'm like, dude, corporations are corporations. Can I make $1 with it? I will make $1 with it. They're not often very sincere people in the grand scheme of things, but if they can make $1, they will make $1.
I see you've discovered their evil plans.
And all of us can agree that their first and only thing, they come in the meeting room and they open up the sales report. Okay, they're not buying it because of this. Can we tag an artist or something and say, "Look, do they support us?" Just hand them $10,000. They'll take a picture with a can. We're good. Okay, boom, you're out there. Next thing you know, stupid people are double, triple, and quadruple buying whatever it was they don't like, and they're driving over it with tractors. It's like, okay, we still make money.
Oh, and the best part is the only artist that support these yahoos is Kid Rock. I didn't know he was still alive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure if you go and dig up whatever hole Ted Nugent is in.
Thank
Ted
you.
Nugent? You mean two Ted Nugent?
Yeah. Like seriously. I mean, you have to go digging for him. But I'm sure he supports Kid Rock.
Personally, I don't care which side of the fence you're on. Just understand that if they target the rights of one group,
Yeah.
you're next.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I said it best.
We're all familiar with the slippery slope argument.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm
Slippery
I'm
slope.
in religions that believe in daytime and going and having to go into the mountains, stuff like that. And when you research all this, you look at it and go, "Hey, I've seen this in history before,
Well, no
not
shit.
long ago."
Which time?
Yeah, that.
Which time?
I was like, I know I ain't that smart. I didn't go to anything outside of a 2-year college, but dear God, I know this is wrong.
Yeah, but there.
Society has
Was it
three grades.
Asimov that had that whole line about the culture of ignorance in the United States?
Yeah.
As being like where most people in the world are not proud of being ignorant and not knowing things, but there's a cultural pride in being ignorant in the United States. Somebody said it better, but like that seems to be a thing because, well, we keep seeing the results.
Since the 1960s, a lot of the world has taken on a new form of ignorance.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I'm afraid we can't claim to be the exclusive club.
Again, Jeff, Mike, and I can, or Mark and I can point to at least 6 stages where human stupidity trumped human compassion and intelligence 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to happen again.
Yep. And we know the same reason for each one of them is there were those, and it was a majority, who refused to pay attention. They got complacent, they got stupid, and next thing you know, boom, here it is, all over again.
Is this the classic? Those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it.
And those who do are doomed to watch them.
Yeah.
Don't remind me. I have an election coming up. That's exactly that statement.
North America,
Texas does too on the 6th.
since the 1870s,
Hey guys, if you're in Texas, your next election statewide, May 6th. I just saw it today.
since the 1870s, Canada and America, northern North American continents, have had a nasty problem of letting corporates go. We're going to repeat, and then do it again. And it's happened again and again and again and again. And that's not just political. And that's what's
No.
scary. It's a social construct that they're working with.
I got to laugh my butt off. The 2 top people in Tennessee's House are both criminals. And one of them had to step down because he just got convicted of sexual assault.
Huh, imagine
The
that.
other one is guilty of
A politician broke the law.
not
You
living
lie.
in the area he's representing and claiming
A politician lied. Wow.
money that he isn't entitled to. So tax fraud.
Imagine that. Well,
like,
there's what's the one rule in politics?
They broke the rules, but you're not.
I can, you can't.
No. What's the one rule in politics, guys? If you're a politician, don't get caught. You hear about the ones that got caught. There's one right now. Well, let's just say it's not going well for him, and I don't need to name him.
Oh, there's several like that right now.
Yeah. Well, this one has a big name.
Captain Redacted.
No.
Yeah, kind of. Ah,
The guy who tried to take over your twit base. Better known as Carrot Top or Orange Top.
Dude, he ain't even a problem right now. We have a
Hey,
worse problem in Captain
you could do
Redacted.
worse.
Claimed to be a fighter pilot in one of his ads. He was Jag. Claimed to be a Black history teacher.
Not
You
even
mean the
good.
guy who was drag queen in Brazil?
Was DeSantis a drag queen in Brazil? That would be great.
Yeah, there's a member of Congress that claimed to have been a drag queen in Brazil.
No, I'm talking about the governor of Florida.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this
Yeah,
dude-
well, I'm talking about the governor. No, I'm not talking about him. He probably.
I'll be perfectly honest. Florida should take lessons from revolutionary France on that and just, mob him, behead him.
Support
Call it a
Chris
day.
here.
The world should do that.
he's in a battle with Disney.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna lose.
Disney goes,
Well, you
"Oh,
don't bet against Disney.
well, here's
Oh,
my
you
big thing.
don't.
They
don't bet
disagreed
against-
on his classroom things because he's taking educational materials and saying you can't use these. So Disney went, "Nah, you can't do that." And he goes, "I'm going to go against you." Okay, we're going to take your right to govern the area around you away. Even though they're the largest employers in Florida and bring more tax money into the state than pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
That's great. I love the idea of a Disney-funded constitutional challenge from.
Yeah, it's like in other words, all the government programs and everything,
As
or the
any
taxes, are going to be
education,
dumped on the people of Florida now.
including
So we can thank this clown in Tallahassee. Yay.
and because there's more and more available, kids at 5 years old know more about sex than we did when we were 15.
That's right.
Speak for
Sure,
yourself.
whatever.
Speak for yourself.
These
I
are
heard the
kids-
cackle of the left. Hello,
I'm not-
Carol.
I'm not into the whole.
Speak for yourself, son.
Yeah, I am not of the thing of are we really
17%
going to
of the
do this
state.
game?
That's still a lot.
What?
Disney only employs 17% of the state's employees.
That is quite a chunk.
That's a
though.
lot for the area.
Yeah.
There's just so
Yep.
much entertainment in here.
Hey, is that you, David?
I think the next biggest employer in
isn't.
Florida is Walmart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But Walmart's
Or
like,
the cruise lines.
Walmart's nationwide.
oh, it's
I'm saying
Walmart. 'Cause
Florida.
Walmart's the.
We have 360 stores in Florida. We looked it up the other day.
Wow, you guys.
Wally World.
All the world. It's an incredible experience.
We found out that Orlando has 15 stores.
That's where you find the home of Walmartians.
So we had this discussion of who employs, where's Walmart, because we were trying to figure out something. I can't remember, but I said I think Orlando has like 15 to 20 stores or something, and we went in and there's only like 10 states that have like a bunch of Walmarts.
Mhm.
The rest of them have almost nothing in comparison. But Florida is second or third of amount of stores, and I think Texas is the next highest.
Mhm.
I was like, holy crap. And New York has almost none.
Okay. So
Connecticut has none.
Walmart is the largest private employer in 22 states,
Those.
including Florida.
Yeah.
Darden is Olive Garden,
Oh,
all of those.
Oh, the chemist shops.
That's
Got it.
100 largest companies in Florida.
Strangely, it seems like the largest. That's interesting. The University of California is the largest employer in California.
All right,
the
Richard.
University of California.
Hey, Richard.
All right, one second. Let me see what
The
detail.
fifth largest company in Florida is the Royal Bank of Canada.
You're welcome.
Well,
Richard's trying to take over our currency, guys.
Well, somebody who knows how to run it needs to use it.
No idea what DPWN Holdings is. Mail and logistics services to business and private customers in Europe, the Americas, Asia Pacific, Africa, and the Middle East.
Huh.
Road, rail, air, express, international, ocean.
Is that DHL?
No, it says DPWN and it's private.
Oh,
Oh, I bet you that's a holding company for a bunch of other companies.
It is a holding company.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
a holding
so-
company. I just don't know that.
I hate holding company information when you're like, okay, but who do they own? Like, give me the details.
FedEx. Hold on. DP Holding has a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I imagine it
They're
does.
biggest in the state.
FedEx, Welder Company, Ruin Transportation, Kane Transportation.
Yeah, it's a big holdings transportation company. Honestly, I don't even see Disney in the top 5.
Wow.
What is Jabil?
Yeah.
Anybody know?
That said, 17% is still a lot.
Manufacturing.
I don't know them.
Ah. Let's see. Then Darden, which is the restaurants.
Thermo Fisher Scientific,
Yeah.
Cargill,
Avery
International,
Dennison, and
Royal Bank.
Terex.
Royal Caribbean. Huh? I was right. They're up there somewhere. Pharmacies, connectivity, RCL, which is another.
It's a software engineering
so wait a
company.
minute. Wait a
What
minute.
is?
Jabil.
Okay.
Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
That would explain why DeSantis authorized the increase in cruise ship docking in Tampa and in Miami.
Yeah, well, the Royal Caribbean is number 6 and number 9. So
So here,
Right.
Damn.
So we know where he was getting his kickbacks from.
Whoa.
I know, right?
what?
Well, I guess
Did you find Disney yet?
no, but Advent Health is number 10.
I saw
My
that.
church is employing
Yep.
more people.
Yep. So yeah, I think
That's
it's
funny.
Then Walmart and Disney.
FIS, Tyco, Milestone, Parker Company, St. Mary's Care Services. Red Lobster is 16.
How is Winn-Dixie above?
Ripley's. Hey, listen, Publix should be up there somewhere too.
Publix
or
was
Associated Group.
Winn Dixie. Wow, I haven't even. Where's Burger King? I have not found Disney
See,
yet.
see if you can find an ADA.
Burger King's not under Burger King. They're under a
Yeah,
I think they're under Tim Hortons' parent company.
are they?
Yeah, they're out of the UK.
It's number 34.
Burger King Miami apparently is independent.
SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Wait, Disney has got to have more employees than freaking SeaWorld, so they got to be listed under something else.
Walmart.
Oh
Is
my God, Club Med! I didn't even know they were still out there.
okay. This list is wrong because Walmart is not under.
It's got to be listed under another holding company.
Yeah, because
Just
Or you're looking at a different classification.
yeah, exactly. So it's got to be listed.
Because there's lots of lists out there, and they're all going to vary depending
Mhm.
on what
Top
the
100
research
employers in
is,
Florida.
right?
How
I agree with you.
Oh,
Facebook
that's
user.
largest companies, top employers.
And let's face it, Disney may not even be under Disney for all
Disney.
of its stuff,
Try
right?
Buena Vista. That
Yes.
used to be a
Yeah,
popular name for it. Isn't that a city in Florida too? Buena Vista,
I think it's
Lake
a district
Buena
or-
Vista.
Lake Buena Vista.
Yep.
Okay.
You have
Yeah.
five cities on property.
Disney is the largest employer in Central Florida with a mere
Right.
75,000 employees.
That's a lot of
A
employees.
mirror.
I
That
would
was a
not
lot,
call
but not.
75,000
I can't
employees
believe that.
here.
No.
Where's the camera? You can show them.
Yeah, but 75,000. So the size of a legitimate city, you're trying to say, is not a lot of employees.
But they're not the largest in Florida. They're only the largest in Central Florida.
Yeah, that's just
Well, that's
Central
still
Florida.
a significant amount of people, right?
Yeah, but
Yes, it
apparently
is.
not enough to sway DeSantis.
Well,
Well,
I would be
Okay.
if I was DeSantis, I'd be a lot more worried about the fact that Disney's legal team is crackerjack. So if you take them on in a court battle,
You're gonna lose.
Because
This is
Well, I
40.
think they're asking
general is
for it.
not that good.
okay, top
Well,
10 employers. This is a little bit older, but Walt Disney World had 62,000. Miami-Dade public school system had 54,000. Miami-Dade government had 32,000. What the? Hillsborough County School Board had 25,000. Naval Air Station Jacksonville had 23,000. Publix has 22,000. Orange County Public Schools has 19,700. Florida Hospital, which is Advent Health, had 20,000. Adventist Health System, well, Florida Hospital and Advent Health became the same. So add another 17,000 to that list. Baycare had 17,000. That was the top 10 employers in Florida for amount of people employed by that employer. So the companies are bigger because they make more money. That was what we were listing off, was the overall size of the company in Florida.
I will at this point out that the crew of the Disney number that Drew's wonderful wife pointed out actually is more manpower than the entire Canadian forces.
Really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
68,000 roughly.
That's all of. Oh, you mean the military?
Yeah, the military. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like if you were sitting there and going effective forces, there, the RCMP is almost the same amount again. And in a situation where you're defending homeland, you would basically draft them immediately.
So the one thing that I did find out
So you
was
could double it overnight.
by looking at that, Florida still has a lot of small businesses
Incoming message.
that we have a lot of small business like home health agencies that have like 100 or 200 people.
Yeah.
And even though there's Walmart that taking up a lot of things like Tampa, you go over there and there's 30 or 40 different meat markets there that are independently owned meat markets.
Right?
So while you would think with what do we have? 30 million in Florida?
Well,
You would think that 75,000 would be a lot more to be the top 21 2021 there was almost 22 million in Florida. So you would think that it would have to be a lot higher, but half of those will be kids. So you're looking at 10 million, so 75,000. That sounds like it's a lot smaller, but if you have, say, what is it, 5 or 6 cruise ships based out of Florida,
Yeah.
they have about 1,000 people each.
Well, also remember that you have a lot of retired people in Florida too.
Right. We have a lot of
Those
retired
aren't
people.
working people, or at least in theory.
Yeah.
The Sean, can I point out something? Being a former cast member, a retired one, that 75,000 figure is not quite accurate. You have the weekenders, you have the part-timers that work during the week. You have the retirees that work for Disney within the limits of the Social Security program. And also we have the college program kids that come from all over, and also the international program. So you could probably add about another 25,000 to that.
But the retired people that are still working count towards that 75,000.
Yeah, that's part of it.
If
That's what I'm
they-
saying. That keeps fluctuating, but you could basically add another 25,000 to that number because they're always filling in for conventions on property, or not just the parks.
So, hold on. That number
Or
is the people that are being paid taxable through Disney. That doesn't count contractors, because contractors would be under a different thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
This is just cast members. Because that number that they publish, it's always fluctuating.
17 by 75,000 ain't even close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, mathematically, you're right, Crystal. That 17% doesn't make sense because
There's 21.78 million people.
so you're looking at about 10 million workers. So 17% definitely ain't right.
Well,
But
Yeah.
I mean,
I
let's
can
face it.
honestly say, because not all the restaurants in Disney, like Epcot, not all the restaurants in Disney, the employees in those restaurants aren't Disney cast members all the time. Sometimes they're part of a separate company, like
Right. We have the people that, like, with Coronado, which also runs the San Angelo Inn in Epcot,
Not even
and the Outvendor things in Mexico, all the food service there. They are an independent vendor.
So you're looking at, that's just the ones that are listed as Disney
Right.
Direct employees. So the Disney
Right.
theme park area, and then you have what is the
Up
shopping
until-
center?
You're talking about Disney Springs?
Disney Springs, which is all different businesses, but that's under the Disney
Right.
holding. That right there, just Disney Springs is another 5,000 people that don't work for Disney Direct.
Right.
Oh, there's no. If we start talking about economic power of Disney in the Central Florida area, you're going to get vastly large numbers of stuff. Just like you're saying, like, what is the overall power of Disney in the United States? And the answer to that question is fairly massive, because huge amount of parks and animation and production in California as well, and then huge parks and other things also in Florida.
Yeah.
Not counting things like their cruise lines that run in various places, the resort they've got in Hawaii, and whatever dash around stuff that you can find if you really look hard enough.
But
Oh yeah, that's Alani. Yeah.
when you're looking at a person attacking this entity that employs that many people within and without,
Yeah.
you're looking at if Disney were to pull out of Florida right now
Not
and say
real. I don't think
we're gonna
but yes,
we're
possible.
gonna put
They're not
this
going to
place
leave.
in,
No, they'll break him.
it would literally 75,000. I'm thinking we're looking at closer to 500,000
No,
people
no.
employed on the Disney properties.
If Disney decided as a corporation that DeSantis was a threat to their $1, they would break him.
Oh, yeah, but what I
Well-
mean,
They have the people to do it.
Just remember, all these cast members, regular cast members,
Vote.
and part timers, they vote. And there's an election that will be coming up. Guess who's
Well-
not getting reelected?
Well, we all hope DeSantis does not get reelected.
Trust me, he has pissed off so many people in this state. It's not even funny. I'm not even going to go down the whole laundry list.
Yes, please, Don.
so Carol said bring it back to Star Trek, and here's how I can bring it back to Star Trek.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Until people realize that taking away rights for people and judging people goes away, we will never have Gene Roddenberry's dream.
Oh, so we're gonna be all depressing about it.
2 weeks for the next show.
No.
We're gonna bring it back
Oh.
to be depressing about
Yes.
it.
Richard, I'm putting a challenge on you. You have 2 weeks.
Ah,
2 weeks. And we'll all come back and we'll all talk about Picard.
right.
If you can't fill in your own spoilers by then, you're going to be spoiled away.
You bloody wankers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not promising anything about that. I happen to have 2 very busy weeks ahead of me.
You know what? He didn't want to do this for a living. He wanted to be a lumberjack.
Oh God, here we go. Woo.
Trucking on, okay.
I couldn't resist that one, Richard.
Well,
Yep.
in truth, it is only 40 minutes per episode.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 14 days.
Shall we do the math?
If you can do 3 episodes on each one of your off days this week, then that's only 1 episode every 4 days the rest of the time.
Anyways,
There you go.
I have my
He's going to give us some of the royal advice. I have a feeling.
my gut is gnawing at me, so I'll bid you guys adieu so I can have something to eat.
Well, we're closing up
We're about
anyway.
to close
so-
up.
Take care, my
I wasn't
friend.
sure. So
But
Yeah.
we did have a little bit of fun. Like I said,
Absolutely.
I look forward to seeing the con and the parade pictures that you'll be
Yes.
producing. Tomorrow, I'm going to take some pictures. It's not going to be a really big con. We looked at the size, and I was like, shouldn't it be a block that way? But this is the first time that they're doing this, so hopefully a lot of people come out to it, because the more cons there are, the more chance for people to get into fandom.
right.
The more people in fandom, the better. More people in fandom, the less people have time to hate.
Excuse me.
Everybody, I am trying still to get Coffee With to be done with
Exactly.
Captain Chive, Commander Chive. John Chive, I believe. The other chapter in England.
Oh, yeah, the Mercia.
Marcia, yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Clive. Clive. I think it's Clive.
So as soon as we can get times together, unfortunately, this weekend normally this weekend would be our filming weekend, but because of the con, we kind of put a
That ain't gonna happen.
damper on it, and then next weekend we're going to be out of town. I'm going to hope to record an interview with
With
Ray.
the owner of Neutral Zone Studios.
Yeah, the owner of Neutral Zone Studios.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of hammer swinging.
So we're going to try and get
Yep.
a little interview going that we can post up as a miniature coffee with type deal.
If we're lucky, we can get 15 minutes.
And
That'll be worth it.
other than that, everybody have fun, watch Star Trek, be nice to your friends and neighbors, and live long and prosper.
And remember, hashtag Star Trek Legacy.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.